it's Wednesday and it's 7:00, you know what time it is. It's chasing gazillions ain't the same as making millions. Wednesdays with Fernando and Anthony. Here we are, everybody. We are here. We are live.
Hello.
And we have a guest. Here we are. And we are all excited to be here today. It's been another great week here in the DMV. And again, I'm Anthony Bowling, one of your hosts here on Chasing Gazillions, not the same as Making Millions. Wednesdays with Fernando and Anthony. I'm here with my co-host and my partner, Fernando. Where's Fernando this week? Right? Where are you this week, Fernando?
Can you see Lenny in the background? That's always the good stuff.
I see Lenny in the background.
If you see Lenny in the background, I'm at home repping Gaithersburg High School. My son graduated from there. Gotta show them a little bit of love right now. One of my good friends that was like the head parent kind of fundraiser for the school is battling through some cancer problems right now, and we need to show him a little love. So
okay,
my heart goes out to.
Is that where you went instead of going with me Friday to play poker, which you missed a great Halloween poker night? Is that where you went to the Gaithersburg game?
No, Friday I was at the Good Counsel game watching that beat down when they took down St. John's 24-0. Yeah.
Oh, really? Hold on. I thought you were a benefactor for Maryland. The dude went to St. John. What's the dude who runs that company? What's your benefactor for Maryland?
Kevin Plank.
That's right. So that's his school. You cheer beating them?
I wouldn't call it benefactor. You know what I call him? I call him the bag man. But here's what I got on Friday night. That's called an all-access pass. I can go anywhere, any place on the field, any tailgate, alcohol, food, sideline pass.
Let me see if I got this straight. At high school games in Montgomery County, you all let them drink alcohol.
Private only. Private high schools.
At private high schools in Montgomery County, they let you drink alcohol.
Tailgating and everything.
Wow.
It's serious. It is serious.
Well, everybody, we are here and we are pleased to bring to you Jhon Anthony Mason. By the way, Jhon, I get different versions of your name. Is it Jhon? Is it John? I see Jhon Mason. What is the correct spelling?
It's Jhon, Jhon, and we had to put that Anthony in there. My mom, back in 2012, I'm going to be with the Lord. She called me Jhon Anthony from birth, and it kind of stuck with my family. But in her honor and her memory, I made it a permanent fixture. So I am known as my mother's son, Jhon Anthony Mason, and I wear that with pride. So that's just Anthony, just like your spelling, of course, and then Jhon. So I was slam dunking in college. They used to call me Jhon A. Mason, Jam. And but the hops are not really there anymore.
Oh, well, hold on, Jhon, because we're having technical difficulty on my end. Fernando, are you hearing Jhon at all?
All I heard was slam dunking in college.
Yeah, Jhon, what device are you on? And Jhon, you can't lean to there you go. Don't lean to your left because you're falling out of the picture.
Okay.
Right? But do you have headphones? You got a microphone? We're getting every other word.
We're kind of at the end of stage of this technology right now, but thanks to you for bringing me on board. I've just got a laptop here with an internal speaker. But you better believe I'll be at Best Buy this week.
I love this. All
right.
What's there not to love? Let's talk about our week real quick, Anthony.
All right, let's talk about it.
So my wife had her 40th high school reunion on Saturday.
Okay, yeah, that's going around.
So I
Yeah.
go there, not my high school reunion, but I'm the
Her
+1.
40th high school reunion. Where's
Poolsville
high
High
school? Where?
School. Poolsville High School.
Okay.
Poolsville, Maryland, up in Upper Montgomery County. So
Yeah.
I'm in there talking to some of the guys. They're like, "Hey, there's a celebrity." I'm like, "Who are you talking about?" "You, man." He's like, "I was on YouTube just surfing around," and I said, "Oh my God, there's Fernando." He's like, "You're a celebrity." I'm like, "Oh no, I'm not. No, not me. Not me." He's like, "Oh, you guys were great. Oh, I love the show." So
You're a
we made him a big
celebrity
fan
in Poolsville.
in Poolsville. So it was unbelievable. So we're starting to reach out a little bit to some people we don't even know we're reaching out to.
Yeah. The show is going. What's the season 1 episode? 27.
27.
Episode 27. There you go. So and we
And
try
then
and our reach is growing.
last night I got invited to a meet the basketball team, the women's and the men's team at the University of Maryland. Private event, only for the select few.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. Looks
You
like Kevin
always
Wheeler.
emphasize this select few thing.
Oh, it's select. There was only like 150 people there that are fans, alumni or boosters. So that's pretty select. I mean, there's a lot more boosters and fans than that, but invitation only. I didn't get the invitation. My buddy did. He invited me. I was his +1. He gives big cash to the school, so he got me in. But it was really nice event. Looked like it's going to be a pretty good team this year. So we're definitely going to go to a game this year, Anthony. I have courtside seats. It's going to be fun.
I'm looking forward to that. I love. Well, I don't know if I love courtside because I don't know I've ever been courtside, but I do love the booth experience.
Yeah, it's not. Don't get crazy. It's not the first row. I don't give that much money, but it's like 8 rows back off the court. But it's below the student section, which is nice. So you're down there on the action behind the visitors bench.
Maybe there's a. Will Virginia play Maryland?
No, they're scared of us. They're scared of us.
Since you all left the ACC and ran and took that money and went Big Ten.
Took the money, baby. Woo! Next year, though, UVA plays Maryland at Maryland in football.
Is that right? Okay.
You gonna be at that game?
Jhon has come in again.
I'm going to try on my flip phone and see if that's better. How about now? Is that better? Is that better?
Okay.
That's better.
That's better.
All right. Let me shut down the laptop there. How about that? How are we doing now?
Good, Jhon.
Good.
And we'll put you over there in with the big frame.
Yeah, the Anthony Bowling
the
frame.
Technology. We always are looking for technology support. And then I have to figure it out. Okay,
Even
now I know how to
bowling
move the
frame.
photos around. Right.
I'm technologically challenged.
All right, show him.
I thought I was pretty much a geek until tonight.
Oh, nice. This week, I got a new listing.
Very nice.
That 4501 Dix Street Northeast, a new school. You know, a lot of churches here in the area have educational wings, and those facilities are woefully underutilized because these churches, particularly here in DC, the membership is down. You don't have a lot of kids. You're not doing Sunday school. You have a whole, like in this case, you got 3,500 square feet of educational facility, but no kids. And so the church, Grace Apostolic Church here in Deanwood, Ward 7, 2 blocks from the Benning Road Metro Station, has engaged the Anthony Bowling Group to help them in the marketing of that educational facility, to look for, someone who wants to do some training, teaching, child care development. It is a beautiful building here, and we're excited that they've asked us to come on board. We've also been some other interviews. We got some other assignments. Hopefully, we will get. But the Anthony Bowling Group, we are out here being of service and helping people buy, sell, and lease their real estate here in the DC, Maryland area. So it's been a good week.
Good.
A good week indeed. Hey, whoa, now he went away. Okay, he's back. I don't know what Jhon's doing. He's messing with his. Are you still there, Jhon? Can you hear us? Uh-oh. Jhon, can you hear us?
You've gone rogue on us, Jhon.
Jhon, can you hear us? Jhon. Yeah, you can't hear us? Say something.
Habla.
I
don't know. Maybe he speaks Spanish. I don't know. Because I haven't heard him talk yet. Here he goes. He's out.
Jhon.
I heard slam dunk. That's all I heard. Jhon, you there? You hit the mute. We need to do a show on technology.
That's what we need. We need to get somebody on here
Jhon?
who knows Restream that can help us. Jhon, say something.
We can crickets.
No, say something. Say something.
I love this. This is our show right here.
This is our show. This is our show. So maybe. Jhon Anthony Mason. I'm hesitant to say what he wears so many different hats. I was going to let him introduce himself so we would know which hat he's wearing.
He doesn't have a hat. That's fun. That's good fun. That's good Texas fun.
Okay, hold on. He's back. Let's try this again. Okay.
Hello.
Hello. There you go.
We're good. Unless somebody calls me, I'll turn off my notifications. So we're good now.
Jhon, while we got you live and all,
yes,
until we lose you again, let's introduce yourself to our audience. Tell everybody who you are. Tell them your topic for tonight, and let's just get into it, because there's a lot of people out here who are online. They're watching. They're in the chat box. They got questions. The three questions I have seen is,
what is wrong?
Who is this guy, and what is he going to be talking about?
Well, first of all, let me introduce myself. I'm Jhon Mason, and Jhon Anthony Mason. Thank you. And I'm with the Prince George's County Economic Development Corporation. That is in the county that serves to help existing businesses within the county to grow and expand, and to help you aspiring entrepreneurs to, if you really, really want to become your own boss and business owner, well, you come to us and we kind of help you navigate that whole process and give you information that will allow you access to capital, that being possible funding if needed, real estate. If you want to lease some space, certainly Anthony handles that from the private sector real estate side, but we work in partnership with Anthony to get that done. And at the same time, also offer you some business development opportunities where we can connect you to business clients. So, albeit private and public. So if we happen to know of a company that's looking to purchase whatever you buy or whatever you are servicing on whatever products you're selling, And we know of those companies because we're talking to both sides. We can certainly make those connections. And on the public side, we certainly work with our Office of Central Services that procures about $2 billion a year in services and products from the county. And, get you engaged with that group. And at the same time, also, uh, we have an individual in our agency who can help you with the federal government procurement opportunities as well, and with also the state. So we're kind of a majorly big time generalist. We know a little bit about everything, but the one thing that we do know is who to call for what questions needed to get answered. I like to say that in this little cell phone of mine, I've got about 4,000 contacts over the last 25 years, and I try to get those all cleaned up, occasionally. But uh, typically, when somebody says, "Do you know somebody?" before they can get that question out, I've got somebody already on the line that can make connections. But here's an example. Talked with a client this week that's looking to sell his business, and he needs to get an evaluation done of that business, of the real estate and the client base and the whole 9 yards. And so we're able to connect that business owner with someone who can do valuation, and also a group that can actually put that business on the market. So if you're looking to buy a certain kind of business, we actually kind of help make those connections, so make it easy for you, so you don't have to do all that legwork. So we're kind of a catch-all. Every day is different for us. We work on lots of projects, billions of dollars in development projects where big developers are bringing in big commercial entities that certainly bring jobs and capital investment to the county. And our ultimate goal is to increase the commercial tax base within the county. We want that burden, that tax burden, to be by and large really held by the commercial industry, commercial business, and hopefully at some point be able to relieve some of that burden from the property owners. It takes a whole lot less money to service those commercial companies that are paying taxes than it does for residential. So, residential is great. We need the homes. We're getting more and more development projects with thousands of homes going up. I took a tour today of a development project where there's over 1,000 homes going up. We saw the pipes coming out of the ground. We saw the infrastructure being put in place. We saw the bulldozers going through and making the roads for these development projects. And so we kind of help, spare that along and make sure it happens very fluently. So every day is different. And specifically,
Hey, Jhon, you share with our audience a lot, and you mentioned about infrastructure and all.
Sure.
Tell the EDC, and you said Economic Development Corporation of Prince George's County. Tell our audience in terms of infrastructure, what are you working with to attract businesses to the county? In terms of what does the county offer that's beneficial to these businesses in terms of the population, the education level of the populations, the metros that we have, in roads and transportation? What are those things, the medical centers and all? Talk to the audience about what really makes Prince George's County now a very competitive and attractive place, infrastructure-wise, for their expanding businesses.
That is absolutely a great question, Brother Bolin. I would say the thing that we have to really look at
It's
is
what we do, Jhon. It's what we do. It's what we do. All right. Yeah.
question I've had all day. You got 2 hours to answer it. I tell you, the thing that we really look at is our key location assets. What is it that we have innately already in place that we can maximize the moment in terms of being able to use those assets to bring in investment, to bring in people that want to, or within our own county, organically grow from using our own citizens who are developers and business owners and whatnot. And the thing that really has driven a lot of our, and what will drive a lot of our growth over the next, I would say, few decades, will be the asset being transit. And If you don't know, we've got 15 metro stations within Prince George's County. And for a long time, we've not really maximized the opportunity to develop around those stations. And if you've got a lot of density around metro, you got a lot of population around metro, theoretically, that's great because it increases ridership for metro. So it brings revenue in for metro, but also at the same time, if you've got land around there that's underdeveloped around these 15 stations, once you begin to develop that land and put all of the mixed use amenities, the restaurants, and you put the residential, the multifamily, you put the office components all around these transit stations, and you build up this nighttime and daytime density where you can actually support businesses that are needing to have that flow of revenue from not just during the day, but also nighttime, where people can live, work, and play in the same place, where you can get those cars off the highway and allow people to use transit to move about the region. So with these 15 metro stations over the last, I would say 8 years, and maybe even a little bit more, what we focused on really is putting critical infrastructure around the metro stations to give those developers a leg up in order to be able to put new residential, to put new commercial businesses, albeit amenities and office components, or even in some cases light industrial type businesses around those stations to bring those people in. And you can have these what we call business centers, and we used to call them, and sometimes we still do, the new downtowns. So you think about it, you got 15 metro stations, you identify the ones that are really underdeveloped, but are now being able to get developed as a result of developers investing money, investing capital. You have a situation now where you're bringing in more density, which brings in more commercial, which brings in more residential. And what does that do? Certainly that increases our population that will fuel our economy and make us a healthier, wealthier county, wiser county, because we have developed around these stations. We've kept the green, but we've utilized that asset of transit and underdeveloped land around those stations to build a new economy that produces revenue for the county that hopefully will, in fact, increase our commercial tax base. And at the same time, provide you with a lot more residential so that we can have a county that's bringing in a lot more revenue.
All right,
Jhon,
Jhon.
that's great.
Anthony,
Go right in, Fernando. Get in there.
Anthony, by the way, Jhon, once you started talking, you got going. He took you a while to get going. Once you got going, Anthony's going to cut you off more than once tonight. All right, so just
cut me off. Yeah.
I just have one question, Jhon, and then Anthony can take it the rest of the show. When is the Purple Line going to be finished? I'm in College Park all the time. I'm excited about it being put right through the campus. I think it's going to be a huge plus for the campus. When is that thing going to be done?
What you're talking about that's a huge question, because you're talking about
That's what we do, Jhon. That's what we do.
You're talking about 21 stations. Give us a little time.
Well, it's only been 22 years. I mean, how much time do you need?
I would say that's a great question. I would give it maybe, that's a hard one. I'll have to get back with you on that. In excess of maybe 10 years, we'll have all those 21 stations in place. I would say somewhere around there, where we'll be servicing this entire region. I mean, you're talking about now, you're taking 21 new transit entities, and you're going east to west, whereas before you've had all of your subway or metro cars going north to south. So now going north to south is connected by east to west, all the way across from New Carrollton all the way to Bethesda.
Yeah.
With all the stations, right on University of Maryland's campus. And what happens along all of that whole route is opportunities for development, for commercial development, for multifamily residential development, all along those stations. It can be a little bit disruptive, but ultimately what you'll have there is a whole new economy based on an asset we call transit. So in Prince George's County, I would say we've got to be the country's model, because you look at this whole idea of transit-oriented development. You've got already 15 metro stations, and now you've got 21 new stations going east to west all the way across the county, and that fueled by just organic growth and within the county, and also investment coming from outside of the county who see the benefit, because we're in such close proximity to that whole Washington, D.C., DMV machine. So right now, we're probably in a better position than I would say, any region within the East Coast, I would say personally. And even within our DMV, Prince George's County, it seems to be, if you look at a map, it's really the hub in the middle of the wheel. Really, it's kind of
Well,
servicing.
Jhon, you're sharing a lot with our audience about the development and the investment of capital that's coming to Prince George's County. And we know, though, that really the backbone to a lot of business are small businesses. So can you tell our audience and talk to them about, from the EDC's perspective, who's coming to Prince George's County in terms of a business class? Is it retail? Is it new housing and multifamily? Is it industrial? Where are those class opportunities, retail or industrial? And then also, are there really any incentives available to smaller businesses? Do we have hub zones? Do we have opportunity zones where we can defray and offset some of the employment taxes that the small business providers are also shouldering? Talk to us about those two things.
Well, one opportunity is with opportunity zones, and I think you might have just mentioned that. Certainly, also hub zones, which I'll talk about in a minute. But if any of you are familiar with the Opportunity Zone program through the federal government, which we have actually 26 opportunity zones in Prince George's County. And these are areas within the county that, in most cases, as much a part of the economic growth over historically. But yet the federal government has come in and said, okay, for anyone who wants to invest in an area that's designated an opportunity zone, if you happen to realize a capital gain, I'll explain what that means. So if I've got $1 million worth of Apple stock and it's done well over 10 years, and now it's worth $2 million, and I decide I want to liquidate that asset. I want to take all that cash out of there. I've got $1 million delta, $1 million profit, if you will. The federal government says, sure, you can have your cash, but give us 30% of whatever the gains rate is. Well, in order to avoid those gains, high net worth individuals a lot of times will look for vehicles to be able to mitigate that tax liability. So what happens is the federal government says, if you invest in one of these areas, what we'll do is we'll defer that tax for you over the next, and there's actually 3 tranches. I won't go into a lot of the detail. Ultimately, what we'll do is we'll give you a break on what would have been your capital gains tax if you invest that money into an opportunity zone. And after 10 years, the third tranche is after 10 years, if you've left that investment in there, not only will we not tax that initial investment, but any other gain on that investment is not taxable. What does that do? Pours capital into areas that historically have not been privy to private investment in these areas. What has happened within Prince George's County is we've had OZ projects that have come into areas not historically privy to a lot of investment, and it's a transformation that's occurring. It's an economic transformation that's very inclusive, which is a great word right now. We want to make sure those that are already in those areas and in those communities are have an ability to be a part of that growth economically, in terms of being able to have home ownership, being able to access those companies that are creating jobs in those areas, to build up make that whole transformation all encompassing for those that are there and those that are coming. And see what we're seeing now, huge transformation shift Not only that, but because of the population shift is coming out of Washington, D.C., move out to Prince George's County, we're a good value. Okay, the housing price is relatively lower, and you have access to transit, the metro stations. So whereas you would have had to spend money for a house in Washington, D.C. because of the housing costs now there, it's pushing a lot of those would have been homeowners in D.C. to Prince George's, where you get a better value. Now you are able to live near where you work and be able to access transit to get back in out of DC to enjoy work or amenities or whatever. And at the same time, experience new amenities that are coming subsequent to the development that's happening around transit stations.
There you
That
go, John.
Anthony Foley, John.
Well, you know, John, as a second generation Washingtonian,
Here
a
we
lifelong Ward 7 resident,
Here we go.
I'll let you know up front that whole better value in Prince George's County thing, we will edit that out from this presentation.
Here we go. I warned you. I was saying it.
So don't worry. We don't bleep you out right now. Just on the back end, we edit that out.
I'm a little biased. I work for Prince George's Economic Development Corporation, and I must say,
we're happy for that. We're happy, and as you know, and as you know, John, and my household is also invested in Prince George's County. You know, our company, Keller Williams Preferred Properties, the number one largest realtor, full service brokerage, both residential, commercial, in Prince George's County. Number one in agent growth, number one in sales. We're in number one in so many things. So you know, I'm very proud of all the work that we do in Prince George's County as real estate professionals. Yes. I
wanted to ask you a question though. I don't want to.
Oh, now don't get beside yourself. We do the asking of the questions, John, here on this show.
You already asked the question.
I warned you.
All right, go ahead, John. Go ahead. Ask your question.
Bowling will cut you.
Economic Corporation doing for small businesses? So remember, you asked me that question.
I did ask you that question.
I've already touched on that a little bit in the introduction, where we can help you with business development opportunities. But so we've got what's really been put in place now as a new strategic plan. The last strategic plan that we had was in 2013. That has been done over, and it is incredible. It's robust. Just beginning implementation now, and we're really focusing on small business. There's a new term that I've learned recently called economic gardening. And so, I don't know if you're familiar with that term yet. You're going to hear it a lot more.
Heard it live here at first on Chasing Gazillions. Economic gardening. Economic gardening. Okay, come on.
That means you take your existing small businesses within the county and you really focus on what you have already in your backyard from a small business standpoint. And you pour into those companies much like you would do if you had a farm. It may start as a little plant, but the goal is to bring a harvest. That's the goal. And it starts with a little plant. And economic gardening is all of these stakeholders coming together, not just the EDC, because economic development is a team sport. It takes everybody.
Did I spell that right? Economic gardening?
Economic gardening. Yeah, like your garden, like you're planting tomatoes.
Yeah.
Economic development is a team sport. It takes all these, what we call resource providers. There are consultants out there that are expert in connecting small contractors with procurement opportunities without a whole lot of red tape. I mean, these people, they charge for their services, but what we want to be able to do is to bring in more resources, maybe on the federal level, to be able to, from a monetary standpoint, even support having these resource providers bring their talents to our small businesses to grow them. For example, if you are a company that wants to be 8A certified, right? Well, that means now you, because of your demographic situation, albeit minority or women-owned, veteran-owned, so on and so forth, you're able to get the certification so that now you have what's essentially a program that gives you a seat or gives you an opportunity to do business with the federal government through 8A. It's only good for a certain amount of years. The question is, what happens when that's over? And so you can't just certify and then that's the end of it. You got to continue to work with these companies so they can stand on their own, so that when that certification is done, well, they're already set up or have been working on doing business with private commercial companies to continue to sustain and grow their businesses, not just dependent on federal government procurement. They can now only do business locally with the county. They can do business with the state, not just the federal government. They can do business with private companies to grow. And what does that do? It creates jobs. So economic development, all roads lead to new capital investment in your county, bringing in revenue to the county to increase your commercial tax base and reduce your residential and jobs. And so it behooves us to take these small companies, gardening them and nurturing and pouring into them to grow them out and prepare them to be big companies. And that's what we're focusing on now as an organization at the EDC. But not only us, bringing in resource providers and other stakeholders to do it as a team.
Jhon, tell everyone what's the telephone number where they can reach you and your team member when they have more questions about opportunities here in Prince George's County.
Well, they can actually call me direct. My number is 410.
410.
Let me rephrase that. My number is 301. It's
301.
Yes. 301 583
583
4650.
4650.
Or they can send an email, which may get it to them faster. It's J-A-Mason, J-A-M-A-S-O-N at co.pg.md.us. And I can tell you, if I don't have an answer for you, I can certainly get you to an answer or get you to the right person based on, what your questions are, your situation is. And we are so excited about being able to help our businesses grow.
There you go. Well, we have it up there, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Jhon Anthony Mason with the Prince George's Economic Development Corporation, the EDC. You can reach him at 301-583-4650 or by email, jamason@co.pg.md.us. Jhon, thank you. We greatly appreciate you coming out this evening. And before you go, thank you for sharing with us the valuable resources that the EDC offers to small, growing businesses here in Prince George's County. You all have done great things. Before you go, please talk to the audience about how far you all travel. I know you all take these not junkets, because that's not good, but these trips abroad, Las Vegas and other places, in search of trying to bring back retailers and others to our community. Talk to them about those efforts that the EDC is involved in, and about more about just the EDC and what it's doing.
Certainly. In terms of where we go outside of the county, one of our, I guess, major, I would say, endeavors is what's called ICSC. It's a convention where 30,000 attendees come out to Las Vegas for the purpose of talking to these major retailers. You name it, and they're out there, a lot of the majors. And as a result of that, you've seen some of these new businesses that have come to Prince George's in the way that we've been desiring a lot of these brand names over the years. Certainly Wegmans, and recently have you seen Trader Joe's That's right. Trader Joe's. It's in
In
Prince
College
George's
Park.
County.
Just opening
That's
College
right.
Park, right?
Stand by. There's more to come. We go out to Las Vegas and we talk to these folks and we say, here's Prince George's County, and we put forth a great message. Amazing county executive, Angela Alsobrooks, certainly leads that charge along with the EDC and certainly her team at the county executive's office. Her team, along with us, partnering together to lead that charge out there. We've set these meetings up with these folks, and we're out there doing the dance. I mean, it's serious business. We're having opportunities to really talk to some high-level people within the retail industry sector of some of these brands that we've desired for years to make that big, compelling case that you need to come to Prince George's County. Because I tell you, there's wealth here. Uh, it's a great place to do business. We're right in close proximity, of certainly to Washington, D.C. However, we stand alone. We stand on our own in many ways in terms of being a good investment. And so it's been a great ride over the last 8 years that I've been a part of this organization. I've seen some wonderful things come to the county. I know of many that are still on tap. So the EDC serves essentially to, in many ways and in many industry sectors, bring that investment to the county. So we're segmented by industry sector. I handle a lot of the industrial. You see a lot of these Amazon last mile centers that we've tried to attract that produce uh, hundreds and hundreds of jobs and provide entrepreneurship opportunities for those that really want to, be their own boss in some of these delivery programs. At the same time, we see quantum computing, which is a very high tech. I don't really understand as much as I should right now, I guess, but I'll say that it is the next big thing in computing. Uh, One of the largest quantum computing companies in the world, publicly traded, is actually based in Prince George's County. And so, with the University of Maryland and all their academic assets,
The flagship campus of University of Maryland.
Dude,
The flagship
exactly.
campus.
did he pay you to say that about Maryland?
A leading resource uh, institution in the United States of America.
The crown jewel of Prince George's County, the University of Maryland.
Cannot say enough about the University of Maryland. I'm so proud of that.
You could say less. You could.
Just keep it.
You could say less.
Wahoo!
That's just one of our partners who we're working with, and it's all in an effort, I guess, again, to bring in more capital, more investment, to also be able to say that when we put our name out there, everybody recognizes it. You don't ask the question, where's Prince George's County? We're getting to the point now where the secret is out, if it ever was. And certainly we are working hard at the EDC every day to continue to send this message far and wide, national, international. And I'm so grateful for the opportunity to be a part of it with our boss, Dave Iannucci, our CEO, and certainly under the leadership of County Executive Angela Alsobrooks and her team, and our amazing County Council. We've been able to really have some great wins, and there's more to come.
Jhon,
Yes.
you mentioned a few times of the role and how important it is that development in Prince George's County is a team sport. And you mentioned you've been here over the past 8 years. Is there any other, what do you hear from businesses who are looking to open up in the county, get their permits to open up businesses here in the county? What are you hearing from them in regards to some of your other agency partners on whether or not they are, getting permits issued in a timely manner? Is that agency well run and headed by, competent, quality leadership?
I would say since I've really been with the county, I've seen some great strides. And under the new administration, the legislation, under the latest administration, I'd have to also that with the partnerships that we have, seamless partnerships,
Office of Central Services, with PPI, and with Parks and Planning, with EDC. We meet on a regular basis, and we're talking to each other every day. Because again, it's a team sport. And when we have these huge development projects, you can't operate in a vacuum. You've got to have planning, and you've got to have your permitting. You've got to have EDC. You've got to have water, fire, everybody working together, sitting together with the clients, and working out a strategy and a plan for getting these projects done in a timely fashion. And I tell you, it's the model that has been put forth. I would say over the last 6 years, I would have to say, particularly from what I've been involved with, I've seen us all come together to make things happen. The key is working together and in collaboration with agencies together. We just finished a major, I don't think I can even talk about it just yet, where we had a procurement effort for a development project of disposition of some county land for a major development project, which required 3 agencies to come together to decide, what is the best, most great use, most economically beneficial use for the county for how you want to develop this parcel, so it benefits commercially and residentially, and all the amenities are there. It requires feedback from all these different agencies to make it happen. So when the private developer gets involved, we can say, here's what we want. Okay, here's what we envision. We already have thought this through, and we know what we want to see ultimately. And so certainly you as a private developer can come in and you have, all of the key components to make the development project happen. But the county's already been majorly involved in deciding what we ultimately want to see and why. That requires a collaboration on steroids from a county partnership standpoint and working together with our different agencies. It's seamless. And we want to keep it that way and let it grow even stronger. Certainly, there are areas we can always improve in on all fronts. And the nature of the beast, it comes with permitting and zone planning. It's not just something that happens in certain areas or certain jurisdictions of the county. I've been in this business 25 years. It's the same everywhere. I mean, it's just different levels of it. I mean, it's just different levels. And there's ways to improve. I think that from a permitting standpoint, with the technology that we have brought in, with some of the new technology tools that we brought in to become more automated, it's an opportunity to embrace technology. So if you're trying to get your permit, embrace technology and utilize some of the tools that have been put in place to make that system more fluid. And we'll, as a team, help you work through some of the issues that come along with making sure it ultimately happens in terms of you getting your permit. We have communication at the EDC with our partners in zoning and permitting and these different agencies. We can be the liaison for you to make sure those conversations happen. You're not out there on an island. We're in a foxhole with you. We want to make it happen. It's going to be good for you and for the county, as a private citizen or a developer or a commercial business.
Everybody.
Nice job, Jhon.
That's Jhon Anthony Mason, everybody. From the
Chatty.
3D Economic Development Corporation, the EDC, who came on tonight to our show. Chasing Gazillions ain't the same as making millions.
It is in
I
Prince
got it.
George's
I love it.
County.
Oh, but it does feel like it's Prince George's County. Wednesdays with Fernando and Anthony. And tonight, Jhon Anthony Mason. Jhon, we appreciate you taking the time to come out and share this wonderful information with our audience. I know that they have benefited from it. We certainly have benefited from knowing that you and EDC are out here in Prince George's County, helping us all, making Prince George's a gorgeous place to live, play, and do business. Hey, Jhon,
Yes,
have a great evening. Thank you, my friend. We love you. We will see you out at the next event.
love you too. continue to be Prince George is proud, man.
Prince George is proud. All right. We love it. Okay, guys. Well, we will see you all again next week. Let me start telling you all, we're going to be shutting down in December.
What? What?
So we're giving you this advance notice that we are, because here's what's going to happen. I know this looks unscripted and off the dome. Well, because it is.
Yeah.
But it does take, it still takes time for us to produce this show. Not a lot of time.
No, we're gonna take a month off to refine the show a little bit.
Exactly, because we're season 1. This is episode 27. We've gotten a lot of feedback from you all, but we want to make it even better going into the new year. We want to bring you. We're bringing you quality individuals like Jhon Anthony Mason, who is giving you access and giving you the keys to Prince George's County, to funding, opportunity zones. You're a small entrepreneur, you want to do business in the county. We are bringing you the people.
The guests are exceptional.
That can make it happen for you. So that's not where we're at. But we have been saying for 27 episodes, we need technical support here with Restream and some other things to make the show, make it go smoother, make it more beneficial, make it more meaningful. We can't make it any more personal than it is. I mean,
no, that's impossible.
No, not possible to make it more personal. But so we're going to take off December and work on it and refine it and get better, because that's what you want in. Well, I'm not sure what we are, except for two dudes on here talking, but that's what you want in your commentator or any program. You always want it getting better. I know that's what you want from me as a real estate professional. You always want me learning and getting better, and I bring that same commitment to everything we do, including this show. We want to make it better, and so we're going to take off December. Come back. We running some reruns here because we got 27, 30 episodes. We can do 4 more in December. Come back in 2023 stronger. All right, my friend Fernando.
52 minutes. Let's go.
Huh?
I think we're good. Great guest. Thank you, Jhon. Great job.
You're very
all the best.
to be here.
All right. Take care.
Good night, everybody.
All right. Good night. Bye.